How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another video where we show you fun projects we have going on around our house. Today I have my beautiful wife here with me to help us with this project. So a few months ago, my wife came to me with this idea to turn this, a long skinny storage room, into this, a butler's pantry. And of course I said, that's a great idea. Let's get started.
No, he didn't.
Okay, what I actually said was, don't we already have a pantry? And that sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, boy.
So we compromised and did what she wanted. Because you know what they say, happy house, happy spouse.
You mean happy spouse, happy house.
Happy, because you know what they say, happy house.
What do they say?
Because you know what they say, happy spouse, happy house.
Or I cleared everything out and we started anyway.
That's probably the truth. So we started by clearing everything out of the storage room, including these storage racks. The next step in the process is to remove these two cabinets, followed by filling in this doorway and moving the opening to where the cabinets were. We will also need to move these two switches over where the old doorway was. Then we need to eliminate this internet port and also move this outlet. Okay, up next is to remove the baseboards, and you can see that my wife also has the floor taped off where she wants the cabinets to go. So we wanted to have some outlets just above the base cabinets, so we needed to figure out where to put those and how to get power to those spots. Now, whenever you're messing with power, you should always make sure the power's off. I used a light to ensure that we were getting the right circuit. Now, since this is a remodel, we'll be using old work boxes. New work boxes you nail into the stud, where old work boxes have these flaps on the side that catch behind the sheetrock. Okay, in this video, we're going to fish a wire up from an outlet in an adjacent room up to the new outlets in the butler's pantry. I decided to mark the wire here so that I could know about how much wire I needed to thread up through.
There. Okay.
Once we got the wire fished up through, it was time to hook the wire to the existing outlet in the adjacent room and then put a new outlet in the pantry. Now, if you've never done any wiring before, you might want to hire this out to a licensed professional. If you're feeling confident, you can YouTube quite a few videos how to wire in outlets and give that a try. After we got the first outlet done, it was time to put in the second one. This one we're going to put in a double gain box to hold two outlets. Now, fishing the wire up for this outlet turned out to be a little bit trickier. There is insulation in the walls, so the wire caught on the insulation. So I asked my son, who's got a little bit skinnier arm, to see if he could grab it. We couldn't get it, so I made a hook out of some wire. We were finally able to hook the wire and get it pulled through. Now, when we went to turn the power back on, this is what happened. It immediately tripped the breaker. so we had to do some troubleshooting to figure out why the breaker was tripping. We took the outlet back out and I found that a ground wire had perfectly aligned itself inside the wire nut, and that's what was causing the breaker to trip. All right, one of the funnest part of remodeling is demolition. Here, the last samurai is trying to hack his way through the wall to help us out. As you can see, the whole family got involved in this remodel. They had a lot of fun helping out and got to be a part of the transformation of this room. Quite a bit of this next section of video is self-explanatory, so we'll just watch it on time-lapse. And if there's anything I feel like I need to explain, I'll jump in. After unhooking all the wires from the switches and the outlet, it was time to go up in the attic to pull up the wires, drill some holes, and thread them back down through to their new location. This definitely isn't the funnest part. As you can see, the access hole isn't that big and it was kind of hard to get through, and it's dusty and pretty uncomfortable up in here. But I had to get it done in order to reposition these outlets. And of course, you got to be really careful to only step on the joists so that you don't fall through the ceiling. As you can see, the spot where the wire was down in kind of a hole. So I had to do some evasive maneuvers to get down to where I could dig up the wires and pull them up and out. I was able to find the wires, but about this time the battery in my camera died, so I wasn't able to really show much. I wasn't going to climb out and get a new battery. If you watch closely here, I hit my head on this 2x4 sticking out, and man, did it hurt.
Get you hitting your head?
At this point, I go back up into the attic. My wife is shoving a wire up through the hole I drilled. That way I could find it easier, and then shove the wires back down so that we could reconnect the outlet as well as the switches. I needed to put this outlet back in. It was the one that was just above the desk. This line fed the rest of the outlets in my kitchen. So we decided to put it in, but the wires would only reach a little bit higher. I could have done a junction box, but I thought it might as well put in an outlet just at a little higher height.
Mom, this better not be videoing me.
At this point, I'm putting in the new switch boxes where the old doorway used to be. Okay, where the new opening was, I needed to put in a header because the trusses sit on this wall, so anytime you open up a hole like this, you need to support the trusses up above it. There's some great videos out there of how to build a header and to install them. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check them out. Of course, even the dog likes to get in on the remodeling. Once I got these switches rewired, it was time to frame up this old door frame so that we can get it covered with some sheetrock. I needed to remove a little bit of the old sheetrock so that the new sheetrock can sit about halfway between the 2x4 and you have space to attach it with some screws. We decided to move the switch that was designed to come in the old doorway closer to where you'd be coming in the pantry from. Okay, it's time to cut the sheetrock, get it in place, and then do some mudding on the joints. The sheetrock kept hitting the light switch, turning the light on and off. Here I'm using a multi-tool to cut out the hole for the boxes. As you've seen in this video, I've used this multi-tool quite a few times. It's a great tool. This one is from Walmart, and it's worked out fine. I'll leave a link for you in the description if you want to check it out. Here I'm using a tape measure to hang from the top. That way I can know where the studs are and I can hit them with the screws each and every time. I put a little chalk around the outlet box and then pounded on the sheetrock so it would leave a mark on the sheetrock. Then I can trace it out and cut out the perfect shape for the box. So we needed to stretch the hardwood floor over the top of where the wall used to be into the pantry. Luckily, we had a little bit of hardwood left from when we built the house. I was also able to use a scrap piece to make a slanted transition piece that perfectly matched the floor. I didn't have a mixer attachment to put on this drill, so I just used a 1-inch spade bit to mix the mud up. It got the job done. You'll see in this clip that we're filling in the nail holes and tape and mudding the joints. And we're working on putting on texture. It's really tricky sometimes to match the texture if you didn't do the original job, and I didn't do this job, but you'll see at the end that I think we did a pretty good job at matching the texture. In this clip, my wife is starting to paint. We'll start with the primer, and then we'll come back and put on the color coat. Okay, the painting's all done, the texturing's all done. Let's take a look and see how we did. I think it looks pretty good. I think the texture matches well. You can't see any paint lines. I think it ended up really good. You can't even tell there used to be a door there. Thanks for joining us on the first half of our Butler's Pantry build. Be sure to stay tuned for our second part so you can be up to date on how's it going.